Imagine the clash of two powerful gods, brothers torn apart by betrayal and destiny. When Thor, the god of thunder, faces off against Loki, the trickster, no one knows who will win. Get ready for the most epic showdown in all of Asgard. Thor, the god of thunder, was the strongest warrior in Asgard. With his magical hammer, Mjölnir, he could summon lightning and crush mountains. He fought for justice and protected the world from evil. Loki, Thor's brother, was different. He was known as the trickster because he loved playing pranks and causing trouble. But Loki was not just mischievous, he was also smart and could use magic to create illusions. Even though they were different, Thor and Loki grew up as brothers. They trained together, laughed together, and even got into trouble together. But things were about to change. As they grew older, Loki started to feel jealous of Thor. Thor was always praised for his strength and bravery, while Loki felt overshadowed, and a dark feeling grew inside him. One day, Loki's jealousy turned into betrayal. He helped unleash a giant serpent called Jormungandr, a monster so big it could wrap around the entire world. When Thor found out what Loki had done, he was furious. He stormed into Loki's chamber, demanding to know why his own brother would unleash such a terrible beast. Thor, "How could you do this, Loki? We are brothers!" Loki didn't back down. Instead, he grinned and challenged Thor to a duel. He said if Thor could defeat him, he would send the serpent away. But if Loki won, he would rule Asgard. Thor accepted the challenge. He put on his armor, grabbed his hammer, and marched to the battlefield. Loki, meanwhile, used his magic to create tricks and traps to outsmart his brother. As the battle started, Thor charged at Loki, swinging his hammer. But Loki vanished in a puff of green smoke, reappearing behind Thor and taunting him. Loki, "You'll have to be faster than that, brother." Loki used his magic to create illusions. Thor couldn't tell which Loki was real as dozens of Lokis surrounded him, laughing and taunting. But Thor wasn't just strong, he was also clever. He slammed his hammer into the ground, sending a shockwave that shattered all the illusions. The brothers clashed again, this time with more fury. Thor's hammer met Loki's magical blasts, creating sparks that lit up the sky. Neither was willing to give up. Just when it seemed Thor was winning, Loki sprang his final trap. He summoned Jormungandr, the giant serpent, to the battlefield. The monstrous snake coiled around Thor, its fangs ready to strike. Thor struggled against the serpent's grip. Using all his strength, he called down a massive bolt of lightning. The shock was so powerful that it made Jormungandr release him. Loki realized he was running out of tricks. For the first time, fear crept into his eyes. He tried to run, but Thor would not let him escape. Thor raised his hammer high, ready to strike, but he hesitated. Even after everything, Loki was still his brother. Thor, "This doesn't have to end this way, Loki. Surrender and stop your tricks." For a moment, Loki seemed to consider Thor's offer, but his pride was too strong. He gathered his remaining magic and unleashed it all in one final attack. Thor had no choice. He swung Mjölnir with all his might, cutting through Loki's magic and knocking his brother to the ground. Loki lay on the ground, exhausted and defeated. "Thor, you were always my brother. Let's end this rivalry." The brothers made a pact. Loki would be watched, but Thor would give him a chance to change. Thor learned that sometimes strength isn't enough. You also need patience and understanding. And Loki learned that while tricks can win battles, true strength comes from within. Did you enjoy the epic clash between Thor and Loki? If you want to hear more stories about the gods and heroes of Asgard, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Join us for more incredible tales from the world of Norse mythology.